After many years in development, Tom Clancy's Without Remorse has finally been released onto Amazon Prime. This does actually tie in with the previous Jack Ryan movies, which I'll be doing a ranking of hopefully tomorrow, so stay around for that one. This one does star 2020's official hottest male, Michael B. Jordan, in the lead, and I was excited to see it because, you know, everyone loves an action movie. But before we get into this review, please let me know down below what you thought of Without Remorse if you have seen it. Without Remorse follows John Clark, a Navy SEAL who goes on a path to avenge his pregnant wife's murder only to find himself inside of a larger conspiracy. That does sound familiar, but does it make itself its own unique thing within this sort of genre? Let's get into the pros. Over these past couple of years, Michael B. Jordan has made himself a very famous actor thanks to the Creed movies and of course Black Panther. Since then I paid close attention to what he's been in, as I think he has potential to be in a lot more great movies, and I was interested to see him in the lead as John Clark in an action movie. And to be honest, he's the only real compelling thing about this movie. Not just because it's him. If you like stripped my knowledge away of the actor, I'd still find him the only compelling one, because he portrays his emotion and his loss really well. That loss, of course, being the death of his pregnant wife, like I said in the synopsis. Not a spoiler, it's in the trailer as well. But other than that, there wasn't really much to clutch onto in the positive sense. There is a post-credit scene, which I won't obviously say, but if you are going to watch it, stick around. It's a nice little thing for those who have any sort of knowledge of Tom Clancy's work before, and it does set up a sequel. But anyways, that's all I have to say for the pros. Straight from the beginning, we start off with an action scene, and it's quite unclear of what's going on because it's quite dark. It started off like that, I'm like, okay, we've still got like the whole movie to go. Surely they're not all going to be like this. And to be honest, I'm pretty sure all the action scenes are in the dark, so you can't actually see too much of what's going on. That's an unfortunate thing, because I was hoping that even if the story wasn't exactly there, we'd get some cool action. But of the action that I could see, it didn't look that amazing. You know, the hand-to-hand combat was pretty standard, and quite a lot of the action was kind of just people shooting, but you couldn't actually see what they're shooting because it was focusing on them, and if those people did get shot, you wouldn't see where they got shot from because it would be like a sniper or something. So the action did let me down quite a bit. I was disappointed by it, and especially since it was in the dark, as you couldn't see anything that was going on. Other than that, the main complaint a lot of people have had is the script. I generally do agree with that. It was quite poor, especially compared to what I've seen in the other like Tom Clancy movies. I was kind of let down by it. It couldn't create any sort of emotion with me, and when there were twists and turns, to be honest, I didn't really care about what was going on. There's a section in this movie which lasts about 10 minutes, which on paper is a big deal, but then it doesn't really have any consequence, or it doesn't really have any sort of reason to be there in the outcome of the movie. You know, if you just take that scene or that section of the movie out of it, the only difference it's going to make is shortening the runtime, because even the consequences it should have, it doesn't really have. So it doesn't really make sense to have that in there. I'm guessing it's in the book, and trying to keep it as much of an adaptation as possible whilst also maintaining an under 2-hour runtime, but it just felt weird having it in there without it being a necessary part to this story. I mentioned in the synopsis this storyline sounds familiar, and I was wondering if this could make any sort of impact on this sort of subgenre, and the simple answer is no. You know, we've seen this sort of movie done many times, and there are a lot of better versions out there, not just on a story level, but also, you know, action, characters. This overall is just a really dull and plain version of that. I was kind of disappointed with, especially with the action. So that was my review on Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. As I said before, I'm going to be having a ranking of the Tom Clancy / Jack Ryan movies coming out hopefully tomorrow, so make sure to stick around for that. In terms of rating for Without Remorse, I'm going to give it a 58%, and we should see where that ranks amongst those Tom Clancy movies tomorrow. I'd really appreciate if you liked and subscribed, also leaving a comment down below. But anyways, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in that Tom Clancy ranking.